I hope you are having an amazing Sunday. This year has been amazing with the market so far, and there's definitely a big move that is looking to happen, and I will show that all to you guys on the chart. I have the Modern Trader Summit up. You guys have heard me talk about it. You guys are going to hear about it until the event, because this is 1 week away from the discounted seating for the event. So definitely check it out. Go ahead, reserve your seat today, as I want to see you there. It's going to be an amazing time. Montreal is a crazy place. There are festivals every weekend. Last night was out downtown and there was the Igloo Festival. I mean, we're talking negative 13 degrees Celsius and people are out partying with a music festival in the freezing cold. It was an awesome time downtown. Also, Trade Ideas, one of the great alerting softwares that is out there, and also scanning softwares as well. Many great traders use it. A lot of great trading rooms use it. I use it. They are having their test drive. The link is down below, so go ahead and register for it. It's $888 for a week, and you will likely be able to recoup that cost just in using it for the week. So definitely check it out. It's worth, you know, $9. What's that, like 2 Starbucks coffees? All right, and this week, amazing blog post. Look at this, January 26th. And if you look, January 26th, which was the exact Friday that we crashed last year. So is this going to be the Friday that we crash, or are we going to surge up? Let's go ahead and get into the indices and go ahead and talk about it. And also, guys, Speed Trader, if you guys want to try Speed Trader out, you can try it free for 14 days. And if you go through the link right here on my blog at CJ and Trade, you can get 1 month for free, actually, of look at all the details, basically 1 month of free commissions or $100 off. So check that out. And yeah, you got to read this blog post because it's pretty cool. But I will review a lot of that here on today's video. So let's go ahead and get into the SPY. So you can see really the past 2 weeks, this week we had a 4-day work week, and really it just was an inside week overall. If we go back to the weekly chart, you can see it was an inside week. We didn't surge up, we didn't surge down. It looks like it's positioning that is happening, just like up here, right? We had this green week, positioning, boom, 4 weeks of downturn. And so this week we had a big surge up, likely short squeeze. That was last week. And now it seems like positioning potentially. Let's go to the 1-day chart. You can see, yeah, okay, we came up. Now, is this going to be a cup and handle setup where we break this resistance here of 266.50 and we surge up to, you know, the 120-day moving average? I had mentioned before, back in December, on the weekly chart, really, back in 2008, we broke down through resistance, tested that 200-day moving average, which is right here, and then surged up to test the 50-day moving average, simple moving average, which could happen. And then after that, absolute downturn dropped to 50% value of the SPY or S&P. Now, is that likely to happen? You know, everybody, all the major head honchos that have been researching for years, way more than I've been day trading, are all saying there's a major crash that's about to happen. So we could have a slight surge up to this 50-day moving average again, repeat history and drop down, or it could go ahead and drop. You know, if we were to go ahead and break this low of this past week, I think that's pretty good indication that we're going to be going back down. In the blog post, I did talk about, you know, when I calculated from the 26th of last year that it dropped 10.10%. So if we had that, and I had calculated it from 266.11, that would bring us roughly to a price of 239.23 by February 8th. So if you wanted to put on lotto calls, of course, you know, with every trade, there's no guarantee. So please remember that, you know, just a full disclaimer, there's always risk in trading, so please do your due diligence. You know, you could put a lotto call on for 239 for down by February 8th, that area. Let me look at my calendar. That would be, yeah, February 8th is a Friday, or you could do it that Monday the 11th, give yourself a little extra time. So that would be a crazy lotto call, and then we shall see. You know, I don't know what the pricing is for it right now, but so that is the SPY on the daily and weekly. So pretty much all the indices are in that. We've got QQQ as well, hitting resistance, sort of two candles that are gapped up and then potentially down. Let's see, same thing. And let's check out the Dow Jones. Dow Jones on the daily, again, the same thing. This one is slightly above, so that could be a little bit more bullish there. And we do have the 200-day moving average right here. So it could test that 249 and then pull back down. We shall see. So let's go ahead and get into my watch list for the week. As always, guys, you know, I did have my Series 7. I am not currently licensed, so please do your own due diligence and trade with proper risk management. First one on the list is Iclk, right? We had an amazing day on Friday, pretty much surged up all day, ended up high of the day. So I would look for a break of 457 for resistance and support of 436. If we look at it on the yearly chart, you can see everything is curling up. Could go up and test that 536 area right there. This one is interesting because it does have 7.1 million in the float and 58.55% short float volume on Friday. Then we have check on our list right here. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. But I did have, let's see, 315 for our support and resistance of 359. So it's interesting. It has, yeah, support and resistance right there. We'll just go ahead and get rid of this. Remove that. You can see before it did have a major run up. So that's something else to consider. This one does have a lower float. It's 4.7 million in the float, and it does have 57% short float volume from Friday. So this one could seriously surge up. You know, we've got that 200-day moving average at 397, just 30 cents above the high right here, and this high back here was 398. So if it does break that 4 level, it looks like it could have a big surge ahead of it. You know, we've got another test, maybe 425 and then 450. So above 450, $5, and then we're probably talking up into the 10 area if the volume jumps on board. So definitely keep check on watch. And next one we have is Digital Ally. Digital Ally as well is another low float. There were lots of low floats that were moving on Friday and had some great low float volume. So they are on the list. This one that has 8.5 million in the float, and it's 56.13% short float volume on Friday. Has a support of 305, resistance of 328. You can see it didn't close up at the top of the day, but it pulled back a little bit. Let's look at the 15-minute chart so you can see. So it did go up here. This is pretty much, you know, a resistance that was broken, it surged up, came back down, close to the support of 312 and bounced up. So really, you know, if you want to trade it a little tighter, you could do 312 and 320. If it breaks that range, then it could have momentum one direction or the other. Next one on the long list is Higher, H-Y-R, Higher Car. So I put the support all the way down here, 391, because this one ran, it supported, you know, we could move this up a little bit more though. I'd say really we could put it up here. 418, 415, 418 area, and 456 for the resistance to break out, because it looks like this was the resistance before. You could even move it up a little bit further if you wanted to. It does look like prior resistance that's become support. So 420 and 456. And Higher has 6.9 million in the float. It was 53.66% short float volume. On the yearly chart, it does look like it's got a nice little cup and handle ready to break out. And then if it does break that 550 area, watch out, because this is going to probably test that 650 area, and then the sky's the limit, because this one has only been around since its IPO of June 27th, which also makes me a little suspicious. I would look at the lockup period. When is that ending? Just like Tilray had a big surge just before the lockup period, and then it dropped down. Let's see, Tilray, I think it was January 15th, yeah, right here. January 14th, it had a surge up, and now look, it pulled back 30% almost on the price. So keep that in mind for Higher with that IPO date. I don't know. I would look at the lockup period when that's ending, because they might be running it up for the insiders to sell it down. Also, SMTX. Let's go right here. SMTX, all-time highs. They just received a 5-year contract from the military. So this is breaking out really clear skies above. It has 13.8 million in the float and 51.48% short float volume on Friday. It looks like it's a little bit overbought at the moment, so it might have a little pullback to it, or it could just surge up. See, even after market, it went to 604. The high before was 605. So if it does go ahead and open up above that, it's likely going to have a squeeze going on Monday morning. Getting into our short list. First one on the short list, I forget I have it over here. Abbv. You can see I had this on my watch list on Friday. And if you guys haven't checked it out, my watch list is really affordable. You're going to get stocks like this access directly on the website every single day. You can log in as I am updating it. And you can see this one pretty much channeled and churned between right here. It looks like there was a pretty good support, 80.27, which they might have been holding it there to go ahead and sell it down, and then, or they could be buying it to surge it up. So 80.78, and then I would say the first support to be broken of 80.27, but really I would look for a break of 79.88. So 79.88 for support and 80.78. This one does have 1.5 billion in the float. So once that freight train starts moving, watch out. These are earning losers, or how the market took it on Friday. So let's look at the yearly. You can see we're testing the 52-week low. The 52-week low was actually 77.50 back here. So keep it on watch. Next one on the short is CNOP. You can tell downward trend, came up, tested that 120-day simple moving average, pulled back. Looks pretty bearish right here with that candle, these two candles, inside candle. So I put a support of 20.03 and a resistance of 20.39. When we look at it on Friday, it really just churned around. It didn't go, we had the massive spike up at open, they dropped it, and then it looks like it's in a downward trend overall since that happened on Thursday into Friday. So this one does have 29.7 million in the float. Next on our short list, Kimberly Clark. So Kimberly Clark had, it looks like it had massive volume after hours on Friday. This one had earnings on, let's see, the 23rd was Wednesday. Drop back down 3 days. Sometimes you'll see the 3-day support area and then it bounces up from there. But it has had a downward trend to it. Overall for the year, it's been pretty much churning around, but it's finding a support, or it could have been testing a support here, and then it's going to bounce up. But I do think that this one looks like it's going to continue down further with this massive red day here. So support of 108.10 and resistance of 109.41. It does have 345 million in the float. Then we have Novartis, which had earnings as well. It has support of 85.80 and resistance of 86.12. When we look at it on a 15-minute chart, you can see it's just sort of downward trending, right? And it's got a nasty day to it since January 18th. It's just up at 89 and now down to 85. That's a good 4-point move, or 2%. So on the year, you can see it's got this upward, down, almost a head and shoulders, really. Here's a shoulder, here's a head, here's a shoulder, boom. We could be coming down from there. And this one does have 2.1 billion in its float. Last one on the short list is RMD, ResMed. Massive drop down on Friday, 94.56 for the support and 96.20. Closed at the low of the day. Massive volume. You know, it's going to take a lot for this one to swing up. This one had it has 140 million in the float, and we are not far away from the low, which is back here, but we've broken down through all of the averages, and it had, you know, negative return to the earnings. Some potential longer term swings if the market is going to continue in the bullish area. We have RESN. This one's been curling up, and potentially it's looking like a little bit overbought right now. So in my opinion, I would wait for it to come back, maybe test the 250 area, and then go up from there, as it did have this gap fill right here. And as well as Overstock has had a nice upward movement to it. Overstock is lower float. So let's see, if we go to volume bot, we'll check Overstock, because they have a lower float to them. And if it's shorted, it could really run up. So 56.32% there for the short volume, and for the float, we have 22 million. So that one could have nice movement to it. You know, once it breaks the 1920 area, 2040, actually this 2050 area right here, that prior support that I'd had from a trading day. If that does break, it looks like it could have some nice upward movement, at least up to the 2480 area. As always, guys, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Carpe Profit, one trade at a time. Don't forget to go ahead and reserve your seat for the Modern Trader Summit. The early bird discount will be ending February 1st. Have a good one and trade with proper risk management. Carpe Profit, guys.